Call to order this regular council meeting for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, this 13th day of September 2023 at 7 p.m. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. The roll call: Councillor Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Caulfield. Here. Councillor Keller.
Here.
Councillor Quad.
Present.
Okay. We have a resolution that we, the council of the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, adopt the agenda as amended to include item 10.5 in new business. Could I get a mover for that, please?
I can move.
Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any questions, comments, discussion?
No.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Against? Motion is carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest with anything on the agenda this evening?
None on my part.
Councillor Keller?
Yeah, so I have one, so I'm declaring a conflict of interest, pecuniary interest in item deputation 6-1, because of my business association with the adjoining landowner in the line fence dispute.
Okay. Okay, Kim, we will call you to the seat over there at the table. I understand you're here to discuss the line fence.
I hate doing this, like this is not anything that I want to cause.
1 second, Kim. Kevin, do you want to just turn the projector off so it's not blinding?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I have pictures and everything of the fence, what Golix have come over, like through the winter, and when Norman was sick, like I just had so much to deal with. So when he went to the manor in Bancroft, I decided that I have to do something about, because all the fence was pushed down from them pushing their snow. And anyways, so I had the fence viewers come, but I have all the pictures, like you can see that where they drove, and they drove right over. They delivered some kind of a bridge or something over to the highways, and Raymond Goots was so they tore our fences down, and I have pictures of that, and they left them. And Natasha went up the one weekend on the four-wheeler, and she says, the fences are all down and there's tire on the fence where they've come across. So anyways, so I thought, and if my grandkids went up there, like with their four-wheeler, like they could have been hurt. Like that fence was left laying there, and I have the pictures of it. So that's when I came and I said, this has got to stop, this, them pushing the snow and whatever. They've taken all, when Thompsons were there, they had horses. There was, and here they argued with me, said there was never fences. And Dennis Shute was one person that was there. He said, oh, there was never a fence. Well, I said, Dennis, there was fences, and everybody knows. Ronnie Budrick, I guess Tammy had called him to be a fence viewer for this. Ronnie Budrick's wife works for Golix also. So that was a conflict of interest. And Ronnie said, no, I cannot be a fence viewer. Kim is my cousin for one thing, and Dawn works for Golix. But anyways, that's beside the point. But the point is, when I came here, this is exactly what I got from Virginia. If you just want to have a look at this, I paid the $100 for the fence viewing.
Mhm.
And you can show, and nothing, I got nothing else. I wasn't told that I would have to pay for fence viewers or anything, because if I would have known, I would have had to pay for fence viewers. I don't have the money with Norman in the home. I'm waiting for another back operation. I can't work. And I said, it wasn't. So after this fence viewing, I say it was a conflict of interest. Virginia's husband works for Gulix, her sons worked for Gulix at the time. Sheldon Keller was the reeve at the time, and he worked for Gulix. I never got another, after the fence viewing, they sent me their decision that I had to pay 2/3 of the cost and Gulix a third. This is what they sent me. They never ever sent me a bill after that until this year on August 23rd, the 8th of the first day. I got, well, I didn't get it till later, but anyways, that's when the invoice, that's the very first bill I ever received. Today I came down, Tammy, I might be a lot of things, I'm not a liar. He said that I was given a thing saying that I had to pay for the fence viewers. I was never given anything. When I got that bill, I came down here and she says, oh, it's right in the, well, I said, you didn't give me that. I think at the time when you apply for an application for something, you should be told and saying it's gonna cost, you're gonna have to also pay. So this is what, she photocopied then out of the bill, out of the bylaws, and changed it. And said, there you have to pay for the fence viewers. And anyways, that was only after the fact when I got the bill. I was never given anything that, and if you call that a formal thing after the fact, after the fence viewing was done. I don't think it's fair. It's not the principle of the money, it's just the way everything has been handled. And I said, nobody is accountable for anything anymore. If I rent the arena, I came and I got this, I get the key the day before. Jordan is the fire chief. When he got married, the whole week before, the arena was like, people have to start being accountable for the things that they're doing. He was in there all week decorating, and Charlotte.
We're not here to discuss other incidents.
Okay.
We're here to discuss the fence viewing.
Okay.
And just now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to ask, did Kim get mailed a notice of what the decision was of the fence viewers?
By registered mail on September 28th, yes.
And was it picked up or did it return to us?
It was picked up.
And that was the after, but at the time, when I applied for this, the fence viewing, nothing was said to me that I had to pay for the fence viewers. Like, this is all I got. Did you see it, Valerie?
No, I think it skipped over me.
Okay, that is
So-
what Virginia gave me.
Okay.
Nothing was said that I had to pay, because neither Tammy or Virginia knew anything about the fence viewing or anything. They didn't have a clue. And then when I came down, when I got that letter, I brought that's when they photocopied that out of the bylaw. Well, that was after the fact. I don't have the money to,
Okay, but you got a registered letter
Yes.
saying what okay, can I see what was in that package? Was there a bill with her cost, her share of the cost?
The,
The bill.
Huh?
The award is the bill.
Oh, the award is the bill?
Mhm.
Okay, so then you did get
This-
notice?
yeah, and then I came down and I said, how can you do this after the fact? I said, do you not tell people before?
How many fence viewers? Just the one?
No, 3.
3 of them?
Yeah.
And I asked, okay, Raymond Boots is a fence viewer for the township, but he wasn't
Involved in it?
involved in it. And I asked him to leave, and Jordan sent Wigglesworth, which, and one of his fire things, that was the,
Didn't send anybody, Kim, wasn't me.
Well, then.
Wigglesworth was the person that was,
Building inspector.
He was the building inspector.
and he was also bylaw enforcement at the time, and he had experience with fence viewings and what should happen.
And I asked why Raymond Goods, and he had, the young lad that is gone now.
Dwayne McCary.
Yeah, he had him there with him, and I said, Raymond, he's standing there, and he's talking to Amanda Fanenauer about hay and everything. I said, like, Raymond, you aren't involved in this. You weren't hired as one of the things. And Wigglesworth said, he can stay if he likes. I said, what? And he stayed there the whole time, and then Amanda Fanenauer and him started, and I said, like, you know what, I know where this is going. But anyways, I'll show you, it's not hard to see that.
But this award tells you what was your responsibility.
That was after, I didn't get that till after,
On the 27th of September, it's dated.
yeah.
Yeah.
After the fence viewing.
Yes, and it says on there that you will pay 2/3% of the total cost of the proceeding. The proceeding costs $300.
Yeah.
And that you would be responsible for $200, and that Gulicks would pay 1/3, and they were responsible for $100, and they paid their bill, right?
Yeah,
So you can't say you didn't know.
I didn't know till, but when I came for this, what I'm saying is, when I came to apply for the application, I didn't know that there was gonna be another charge. I thought I would pay the $100 and that was it. Like, when you come, like, it's like going and buying something from a store, and then after you've bought it, then they send you a bill and say, well, that wasn't included in the price.
Does anyone recall if there was anything said about costs?
I can speak to that.
Yeah,
In August, Kim came to the office with a concern about the fencing. I told her at the time that we would look into it to see if the municipality could do anything and explore the Line Fences Act. Upon doing so, we discovered the Line Fence viewer bylaw that we had wasn't up to date. It is our responsibility to have a minimum of at least 3 fence viewers appointed on it. We didn't meet that standard.
Yeah.
Which is why the new bylaw was passed on September 7th. Because I didn't have a copy of the new bylaw yet, it wasn't passed. I provided him a copy of the old bylaw and explained to her, I wouldn't have given her the old bylaw if the new bylaw was passed. Explained to her what needed to be done to make sure we had fence viewers in order to act.
okay.
She submitted the form on September 8th, the day after the bylaw was passed.
That,
But prior to that, did you explain to Kim the costs?
Yeah, it's part of the bylaw as an appendix.
I didn't get this bylaw till after I got the bill. That's what I'm trying to say. When I came down, when you guys sent me the bill, you brought this down, you brought this out, you got the thing out, you photocopied it on that machine, you couldn't even, well, here it is right here, and then you stroked this out because it was from Gary, when Gary Grunts and Michelle were still here. And then you said, well, here it is, it's in the bylaw. Well, I said, you never told me that before, and you didn't. It wasn't you that I dealt with Virginia. Virginia is the one that, when I applied for the, like, you know what, there's no point of even trying to say anything here, because you accused me of being a liar. I might be a lot of things, I'm not a liar, Tammy, but you have proved yourself already, like, in different...
Excuse me, that's not, we're not
I
here
know.
to accuse people.
I know, well, how do you think I feel when I come, like I said, after everything that Norman has done for this township, everything that he gave, and I said, I think about when the arena was there, when we were building it, I was there, the nights that I didn't work, I was down there, made coffee, desserts, Norman went every single night and worked after working all day.
And that was appreciated, but that has nothing to do with this. This is a different procedure. It is the municipality's responsibility to have a bylaw to appoint fence viewers.
I know.
And we had that. We gave it,
It was all after the fact, after they came up and looked at the fences.
yes, that's when the award is done and the award for cost is done.
But it
after-
should have, all I'm trying to say is, it should have been, Virginia should have told me that you are gonna have to pay for the fence viewers.
Yes.
And it,
That's what Kim's asking was.
Yeah, and I understand
That
that.
was missed, or it's a gap, and that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, and I understand that, and if it wasn't said, did you figure that this would happen and it would be free?
no,
Well, she
I thought the $100
Okay.
was,
Because that's all she needed, was
That's all.
$100.
Okay,
because I didn't think this, and then anyways, well then, after when I've seen and what was going on with the fence viewers and bullocks and everything, like, my pictures are, say it all, and.
well, and there was an award made to have that fence fixed.
Yeah, I paid 2/3 of it,
Only of the cost of the fence viewers, you paid 1/3 for the fence.
and the fence, I have to pay,
1/3.
85% or 85, and when, you know what, when that land was sold, he was supposed to keep a barrier around it, it's on there. I pay the biggest part of it, it says what, bullocks only pay,
If I may explain the fence viewer award.
oh yeah, the gap between the bullocks and us, like I said, I shouldn't have to pay for any of the fence because it should have never been knocked down. From him pushing the snow, you cannot push snow or anything against somebody's fence. You can't pile your logs on their fence.
Unfortunately, when the fence viewers are called in and the fence viewers make an award, the township can't go against the fence viewers. But you had 14 days after you received the registered letter, if you weren't happy with it, to appeal it. That's the only way the challenge of the fence viewers can be done, is if when you received the award by registered mail, that you would have appealed it, and you
Kim came in the very next day on September 29th and picked up the appeal.
picked up the appeal forms, okay, and you didn't file them?
I never picked up any appeal forms. Okay, well, you guys will say whatever you want.
Kim,
Valerie, you weren't here?
no, but you can't, do you have a record that you picked up appeal
I have
forms?
notes of timelines.
So it's noted on the file, the date
I came in.
that you came in and you got the appeal forms.
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
you can't,
And
Are the forms, just out of curiosity, are any of the forms dated or rev controlled, so we have a numbering system that when we
It's
stuff
like
out?
Form 1 through Form 16, I think it is, and they all have different purposes all the way through.
Yeah, but
It's just
every
hard
time you
copies.
hand one out to someone, does it have like a number that's assigned to it?
No.
That's what I'm saying for accountability, that's not, that's all I
Yeah,
was
that's
asking.
not part of the app, that we're not supposed to do.
It's a bit of a gap there.
yeah, like, and this is the only bill from like a year. I came in, like, I am an honest person. I didn't have to, I came in on the 24th of July because I was having my septic tank not moved or anything, changed. I paid $250 on my own. I didn't have to. Nobody would have, like, I don't even know if you have to have it changed.
yeah, I think you do. We had to when we got ours changed. We had to get
Yeah, but I
another
said,
permit.
who would have known that I said, I came on, I don't have that kind of money. And then a few weeks later, I get this bill after a year saying that unpaid fence viewing bill. Like,
Well, it's right on here, it says.
I know, but, you know, if you owe money to Sears or someplace,
Well, yeah.
that you get a bill, they send you a bill.
Yeah,
It was a whole year, and then I got this bill unpaid.
and it's just the procedure of that act, how it happens, and no one's saying that you're a liar, but,
Well, no, today I was told I was a liar, that I
well,
was given the papers or whatever telling what it cost. I wasn't given it until after the fact.
well, yeah, you would have got it after the award. You would have got the award on the paper and it tells
But
you.
you're referring to the old bylaw, which I would couldn't have handed out prior to after the new bylaw was passed, so it had to have been handed out prior to September 7th.
And, you know, like, it's unfortunate
Well,
it's
it's
went to this,
unfortunate.
but, you know, like, there's nothing really we can do about the award. You should have
Yeah.
appealed it if you weren't happy with it.
Well, I have a lot going on.
Well,
You know,
I think
like-
everybody does.
Well-
We have to pick what's important and make sure we deal
Well,
with it.
I think my husband is more important than,
Okay,
uh,
yes,
But even if we go back to the beginning of time, when we're doing something, the township should make everyone aware of all the costs.
yes,
That's a
yes.
gap.
I think we'll have to make sure we get a policy where, you know, if this is
Because
what we're
honestly-
dealing with, this is the
Right.
information that applies to this
Well, yeah,
process.
there should be some
Yeah.
description of if this happens, this is the starting point, and if this happens, this is how the breakdown
Yeah.
is, and give some examples of how the costs could break down going forward.
Yeah, so maybe we
Because
can
that-
get,
that is important.
like,
Yeah,
a
like, I don't have
policy
the money
on
to-
how, like,
Well,
if someone
they
comes
should
in
know
and
upfront.
applies.
exactly. And that's all that's all I wanted to,
you're asking.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, it's not the principle, it's just the principle of how it was handled.
Yeah, we have some room for improvement for sure, and we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Because it is a gap, you need to know. It can't be a
yeah, like you
surprise.
can't,
Well, it can't be a surprise.
yeah, exactly.
So we should do that, and then if someone comes in and applies under the Line Fence Act, they'll be given the information
That's right.
slip, like, this is what the process is, and this is what you can expect.
Yeah,
You can expect to pay for fence
Yeah.
viewer awards,
Yeah.
costs, whatever,
Yeah, because
That was.
whenever you go
That
to,
was followed and done with.
yeah.
Do we have a document that has any of that stuff?
well, they probably.
Do we have anything like that or not yet? We'd have to create a document.
We'll create a document,
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
make sure that it's signed by both parties.
Yeah, no, but we
Yeah.
should have a document, just it's an informational thing.
Yeah, what to
Because no one likes
expect.
a financial surprise, I know I don't like a financial surprise.
Yeah, and I'm
So-
not in a position.
So unfortunately, we can't go back and do anything about this. You'll still be responsible for the cost and responsible for your part of the fence. Because we can't change a fence viewer award. The only way a fence viewer award can be changed
But,
is if you would have appealed it.
But another thing, like it was all a conflict of interest.
I don't know why you say that.
Well, okay, for one thing, small piece that was there is Raymond Goots's cousin. They're cousins, Raymond and
But we can't say that's a conflict because they're doing a job and they've got to put
I know,
that.
but he wasn't asked to be there.
He was
The
on-
township did not ask.
No, but he was there as an observer probably for the county because of them being accused of wrecking the fence.
Well, you know what, the guy came right down to my house and he went and talked to Raymond and, about that. I have his name and everything. And anyways, he's the head one, he's Raymond's boss, and he told Raymond, he came right back, told me, he said, I told Raymond, you cannot do that, you have to ask to cut down people's fences, and when Gulix and them together, like I said, there's no point, it's just like,
But it was the fence viewers that made the decision in this room without any of those people here. It was just the fence viewers.
Sheldon was here,
No, he wasn't.
okay, maybe he wasn't. Well,
No,
whatever,
Sheldon
he
was
was-
not here.
Maybe he wasn't,
No.
okay, whatever, there's no point.
No, it's just the fence
wasn't
viewers
just
that
the-
make the decision.
Well, the one fence viewer, and well, I have the pictures, and
Yeah, well, we know that it was down and that it needed to be repaired and the award was made for it to be repaired.
yeah, well,
So,
Gulix never put up their part of the fence, what they were supposed to, it's still not done.
oh, well, we'll have to bring that up to them then.
Yeah, it's not done, and Barton Clark came and he put some, fence last fall, just put it across on, down by Trevor's garage. And there was always, when, Thompsons were there, they had horses, and the horses weren't running wild like over into our field and everything, it was all, closed. But I said, there's no point, like, I don't have the money that Gulix have to fight, this, but believe me, if I had the money, I would take this township
Okay.
because I said, you cannot, all I'm trying to say is, you cannot ask somebody to to pay something. That should have been brought up to me right away, that's all I'm saying. When I came in and applied for the fence, the application, paid the $100, it should have been told to me at that time
Well-
that I had to, I was responsible.
Well, if it wasn't, we apologize for that, and it won't happen in the future.
Well,
So, and I
not
mean-
me.
No, but.
No, but I
If
mean,
somebody brought something to light that needs
Yeah.
changing, we'll make changes, so it's
Yeah.
better. Because, yeah, I wouldn't like it to happen to me like that either.
No,
I would wanna know as well, so I understand your position.
yeah.
so anyway, we can't change it, you will have to pay the $100.
Well, it might take me a long time,
Well,
that's for sure. Because I think we've given enough here. And like when you see how the money is being wasted,
well, you bring
Here.
it to us where it's being wasted and
Okay.
make a point of it then,
like
because,
everybody else has to take their vehicles to work. But our fire chief doesn't.
we can nitpick about little stuff
Oh, that's not
forever.
little, because no other township has the fire chief.
Oh, did you ever drive by the old Golden Lake Hotel? There's a township vehicle sits there, the guy that's in the head of the roads, he
No,
drives
no,
it.
but he doesn't, they don't drive it home. I talked to
He drove it
Charlene.
home.
Well,
He drives it home because he lives there.
Well, I talked to Charlene today at Killaloo. Killaloo doesn't, Barry's Bay doesn't. Corey takes his own vehicle to Barry's Bay.
Thanks for coming,
Okay,
Kim.
thank you.
Okay.
Well, good points as far as I'm concerned, some
But-
good points, and I was gonna bring up something tonight too that she touched on here at the end, because it is a taxable benefit, and we need to look at that.
Which is,
Driving company vehicles for personal use.
yes, it is,
It's a taxable benefit that
It
needs
is.
looked at.
yeah. And that's, we'll have to look at stuff like that, but in the time being, that's not what the
No, no.
subject is now.
But it is something I'll put on the agenda for next time if we
Yeah.
don't, because it has to be looked at. I was looking at that this week when I was driving around the home.
Okay, let's move on, please.
Yes, that's, you know. She really controlled herself now.
But if it was me that, when someone knocked down my fence, I'd wonder why I'm paying to have it put back up. I would. She's got a really good face. I'd be
There's a law.
really pissed if somebody knocked my fence down and I had to put it
I
back
don't
up.
think we know everything.
No,
We don't know everything.
These two have not spoken yet.
But I'm just saying myself.
Because the fence
So-
viewers were the one that got all the information and they made the decision based on the information that they had. So we don't know. And it's not up to us to challenge their decision. Can we have a 5-minute recess?
Sure.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We're back in, after our recess. We need the projector back on
Oh,
for
sorry.
the agenda.
I just have to bring it over the list.
We have a resolution of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rudall and Dock and Raglan hereby adopts the minutes of the regular meeting of August the 2nd, 2023 as presented. Do I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Rennick, seconded by Councilor Keller. Any comments, questions?
No, none of them have heard.
Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Against, the motion is carried. Okay, we have committee and or staff reports. We have a resolution. Whereas all Ontarians deserve and expect a safe and respectable workplace, whereas municipal governments, as a democratic institutions most directly engaged with Ontarians, need respect full discourse. Whereas several incidents in recent years of disrespectful behavior and work harassment have occurred amongst members of municipal councils. Whereas these incidents seriously and negatively affect the people involved and lower public perceptions of local governments. Whereas municipal codes of conduct are helpful tools to set expectations of council member behavior. Whereas municipal governments do not have the necessary tools to adequately enforce compliance with municipal codes of conduct. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Brunel and Raglan supports the call of the Association of Municipalities of Ontario for the Government of Ontario to introduce legislation to strengthen municipal codes of conduct and compliance with them in consultation with municipal governments. Also be it resolved that the legislation as the Association of Municipalities of Ontario's recommendations for updating municipal codes of conduct to account for workplace safety and harassment, creating a flexible administrative penalty regime adapted to the local economic and financial circumstances of municipalities across Ontario, increasing training of municipal integrity commissioners to enhance consistency of investigations and recommendations across the province, allowing municipalities to apply to a member of the judiciary to remove a sitting member if recommended through the report of a municipal integrity commissioner. Prohibit a member so removed from sitting for election in the term of removal and the subsequent term of office. And further that this resolution be circulated to the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honorable Steve Clark, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honorable John Yakabuski, Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, MPP, Charmaine Williams, Associate Minister of Social and Economic Opportunity, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and all Ontario municipalities. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments? Reserves? Questions?
Yes.
Yes, the motion is carried. We have a resolution that council for the corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lake Duncan, and Raglan hereby directs staff to send the attached letter of support to the Pembroke Airport. That was from the last meeting. Can I get a word for that, please? Moved by Councillor Kwan, seconded by Councillor Caulfield. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Motion is carried. The surplus equipment resolution that we, the council of the corporation, the Township of Brunel, and Raglan, declare the 1970 Gaymar float trailer as surplus, and further directs the operations manager to dispose of the surplus via gov deals. Do you have a report for that, Dan Jordan? I get a mover for that?
I can move
Moved by Councillor Watt, seconded by Councillor Ballard.
So through the mayor, so in the late 80s, former Raglan Township purchased a float trailer from CFB Petawawa for the anticipation of moving equipment and supplies around. The float was put in service, used once or twice, according to staff, and this sat for the past 25 or 30 years. Former staff also said that deck height and placement of the axles makes hauling heavy equipment nearly impossible, and current staff do not anticipate using the float for the same reasons and recommend disposal.
Now that it's sat around for 25 or 30 years, is it any good?
It's actually structurally really good shape. The deck is obviously rotted off of it, but it needs some plastic airlines and new deck. And for the most part,
Patched up.
it's actually pretty good shape.
Okay.
How high a float is it?
Oh, it's pretty high. It's really top heavy.
Yeah.
I know they moved the tractor or something around with the pumps.
Okay.
They didn't, yeah. It's not much good.
No,
It's an old military float.
Yeah.
That's fine to be cool, but that's not a reaching problem.
no point that people that can use it.
No, we haven't, part of it, we heard of it, yeah, there's still money back in.
Is it post stuff?
Go ahead.
I look at the site, I just don't know what it's like to post.
I take some pictures, get the information, actually it's really helpful with, a VIN number, you can type the VIN number and it populates a lot of information for you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, post whatever information you have on it, send it on.
Yeah, they do that stuff, it's monthly, right?
What do you select how long you want?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not call for the vote on that. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Staff report. Resolution that we, the council, of the corporation of the township of Newfoundland, Dock and Rack, accept the road construction report for information purposes. Can I get a mover for that, please? I can move by Councillor Cobble, seconded by Councillor Quad, and we'll let Jordan give us a report.
Right through the mayor. So we did discuss the first two portions of this in the previous meeting. This is just an update on the surface treatment, the non-complete. So the contract amount was $265,263.90 plus HST. The actual came out a little bit higher, $273,495.75. The overage was a result of it was a 100-meter section of Burnt Ridge Road that was a little bit beyond what we thought was initially, and it needed an help surface treatment. So we went ahead and did that one over there. Other than that, everything else went really well, and in all the mine projects were under budget. So that wraps up our construction for the year.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of good road work done this summer.
Yeah.
Okay, could I get call for the vote on that resolution? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Opposed? The motion is carried. We have a resolution that the council of the corporation of the township of Newfoundland, Dock and Raglan award tender PW 2023-4 to RGT Food J Construction Inc. for the supply and delivery of winter sand in the amount of $98,890 plus HST. And the council for the corporation of the township of Newfoundland, Dock and Raglan award tender PW 2023-5 to Nadcor Environmental Shredding Limited for construction and demolition grinding in the amount of $17,000 plus HST. I believe there's a report for that.
Get through the mayor.
Okay, moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Keller.
So I do have a number of reports tonight. This one was in regards to two vendors that went out this past month. We're getting to that time of year again, and we didn't want to think about it. Winter's just around the corner, so we tendered it for winter sand again this year. We had two responses come back from that, one from McRae Excavating and one from Fuche. You see the figures below. McRae was 20,000 more than Fuche, so it's obviously where that was going. We did see a 27% increase in the price per ton this year. That's quite a substantial increase due to, I would assume, fuel costs.
Yeah.
So that kind of drove the prices up from last year. So that was one of our obligatory doings for each year. Another one is to have the construction and demolition pile at the Rubenall waste site shredded or ground. So we tendered for that again. We had 3 responses to that tender. National Grinding Inc. 22,500 plus HST. 149945 Ontario Inc. Came in at 38,800 plus HST, and Nadcor Environmental, which we had last year, at 17,000 plus HST. So that was within budget and very similar costs to last year. This was $1,000 more than last year.
Okay. So
If I may, Madam Mayor, Jordan, for how many tons is that? Was the winter sand?
Winter sand was for 5,500 tons.
500 ton?
We spec'd for 5,300 last year, we have approximately 300 left. But we need to stock up the Palmer pile this year, so that was my thought process. Or
And I don't know if it's the question of, do you think that the winter sand that we purchase now, because it's to spec, do the guys find that they use more or less sand?
they actually find that they use less, and that when they plow, the grit in that sand is there, so they apply less.
Yeah, it looks like it gives better coverage.
Very much so.
That's what I thought.
I thought some comments back from our operators that it's a really good product and they're very happy.
And once it's down, you apply.
It's down there. It's that grit content that it sticks to the ice and it's there and you plow, there's no oil, it remains there. And it's just a matter of talking. So, yeah, no, we did end up
It looked good last year.
using a lot less sand.
Yeah, got her down pat. It was-
No, it was good.
Yeah, that's true. The bugs into the system.
Yeah. Okay, so can I call for the vote on that motion? All those in favor?
Yes.
I guess the motion is carried. Okay, we have another resolution that the council for the corporation of the township of Brookville and Dr. Ragland direct the fire chief to proceed with the purchase and installation of a new propane furnace from Round Lake Heating and Air Conditioning in the amount of $5,300 plus HST. Can I get a mover for that, please?
I can move.
Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Doyle. And there's a staff report.
In through the mayor. So unfortunately, this past spring, just after our budget was passed, a furnace at the Brookville Fire Hall malfunctioned, and we had a repair technician come in, and they found the furnace. The inside of it was burned through and cracked. It's done, so it's unfortunately to be replaced. So we reached out for some quotes on that. We considered both propane and oil options. The oil ended up being $6,100 plus HST. You also have that cost of fuel. It's almost double the cost of propane. So we took that into consideration. I think in the long run, we're going to see savings with the propane, not even just in the furnace, but it's in the fuel.
Did any of the HVAC guys talk about electric at all?
Not really, no.
This is curious.
It's something to consider, you know. Maybe we purchase tanks or rent tanks.
Heat recovery with big garage doors would be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat recovery, yeah. That's we come up to our, unfortunately, we'll budget $4,000 a year unless we know something's coming up. So hard to plan for that. So $1,300 it's gonna be unbudgeted for. But we do have some money that we set aside to go into reserves this year. That we can
Financially, we're in a good position.
work on.
Yeah, what's that, consider, the budget, then need to, it's a living document, right?
Exactly.
It
There's
changes.
Yeah, there's on the envelope.
Changes as it goes.
It's hard to plan for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, can I call for the vote on that? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, the motion is carried. A resolution that the council for the corporation of the township of Brookville and Alvin Ragland direct the court treasurer to process payment to the county of Brantford for the municipality's portion of the replacement and installation costs of new dispatch radio consoles in the Brantford CACC in the amount of $6,642.99 expenditure to be drawn from the to reserves line of the budget. Could I get a mover from that, please? Councilor Day, seconded by Councilor Keller. And there's a report.
Through the mayor, again, another fortunate unforeseen expenditure for this year.
But a necessary.
But a necessary-
System was.
Very much necessary upgrade. It's been a number of years I've sat in with the Redford County Fire Chiefs Association. This has been talked about for quite some time. This is one step of upgrades to the system. There are more. This essentially is the consoles inside the dispatch center. So each dispatcher has two systems they work with. One dispatches the ambulances and one dispatches fire. The fire system is very old. Can't even put a date on it.
Again, you get work, so.
Then you can't get parts or serve or support for it anymore. So it needed to be replaced. So it just went through county council. This is kind of above us. Obviously, the county council was passed and approved to purchase the system and then later figure out how each user was to pay them back for it. So the total system cost was $360,142.30.
And the original
The original plan was to
Was
split it evenly
seventeen,
between the sides. Yeah.
we would have paid $21,000 and something, and when it comes to county council, there was enough of concern from the,
Smallest municipalities.
yes, that we sent it back to the committee and asked for them to look at it like on the weighted vote system, like the weighted assessment system on assessment and a few different, and they come back and they brought back on the weighted assessment, because when it comes to voting in county council, that's how our votes are determined.
I thank Mr. Donahue for his
Yes. He was
support
very,
in this matter for sure.
yes, he was very,
One-time
very
payment?
vocal.
So
on that. Yeah,
So generally annually we pay for user fees. So it's based on the number of calls we get a year. And what it costs to run the dispatch center and any little, fixes or upgrades it takes within that year.
So that's kind of built into that.
Well, we pay for that separately and we budget for that. We kind of have an idea what it's gonna be. And then this is on top of that. So this is just an equipment upgrade that is unforeseen and we pay for it.
Yeah.
So in the end, we paid $6,642.
yeah, the county paid for it.
Upfront,
Yeah.
Now, does that mean we're gonna get better receptions with our radio too and everything?
Well, like I said, there are more parts to this whole radio system. This is literally just the computer.
Oh, okay.
The microphone, the base in the dispatch centers. You still have your towers and everything.
So are they gonna be doing anything with the towers?
Heard more on that and what's gonna take place or how that's gonna look, but
This is a good first step.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
This system also incorporates the digital and analog both ways. Just.
There's room for growth and expansion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
it's good.
Yeah, it was a big,
Mhm.
a
It's
big,
been a long time coming.
It has.
It's well thought through, but it's done by the county for sure.
So that's that.
yeah. Okay, so can I call for the vote on that motion? All those in favor? Yes.
Yes.
So the motion is carried. Okay, so we have a resolution that says that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindop, and Raglan, hereby accept correspondence as circulated. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Popple, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any questions, comments, anything anyone wants to pull? From that list? It's nice to see that we're gonna get some of the revenue from the, police record checks for a few years yet. Well, really seeing none, then I'll call for the vote that it be accepted. All those in favor? Yes. Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay, on to new business. We have a resolution. A council for the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dog, I go to the record. with a copy of ISED in order to permit Rogers to move forward with the installation of the proposed wireless communication site at 117 House Road. Rogers has fulfilled all the requirements under ISED's default protocol under CPC-2-03 as they pertain to the proposed location. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Quad, seconded by Councilor Pellet. Okay, any questions, comments?
I think that's just right.
Does anyone have any questions for Eric? Like all the requirements have been met, and I understand, Eric, that you did that work.
Yes, exactly. Public consultation packages were distributed to the required registered property owners. An ad was placed in the community newspaper and no comments were received.
No. So, we thank you for that. And, I know the people got them because I heard about it. So, good though.
Other than when's the tower going up?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's, it's a very big dead area, I'll tell you.
I'm familiar with it. I've driven through the area a number of times acquiring sites in your community, and we definitely understand the desperate need for it. To set your expectations, we're looking at roughly early 2025 for construction of this one, but hopefully slightly sooner for a couple of the other ones.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. This is a plan of record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, can I call for the vote on that then? All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Yeah. The Renfrew County Regional Science and Technology Fair. I believe we have donated to that in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it $100? Yeah. So are we in favor of doing that again?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll do a resolution that will, to donate $100. Moved by Councilor Quad, seconded by Councilor Banks. It's an exciting thing for the kids.
Oh, it
to
is,
go.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On variance, a discussion. Oh, I guess I need to call for the vote on the resolution. All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Next would be Leandra. The second meeting too. So we have information, Tammy?
This is just bringing back what we discussed on March 1st of this year. We still had snow on the ground, and the discussion at that point was to reassess it when the snow was gone, to see if we could find a suitable location.
And snow is almost here.
So I'm just curious, I know back in the winter, we discussed a couple of cemeteries. And I know one cemetery that our municipality looks after is on 515, Oakland Baptist Church.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, those are the ones that.
Yeah.
And Sheldon, or somebody had mentioned one up this way. This road.
Okay, I didn't.
And who was that? Winning somewhere?
More than me.
No, not on this road.
No,
The short bridge you're talking?
Yeah.
no, I can't remember anybody saying Bird Bridge.
I know the liar one.
No, Community's Little Ireland.
And there's one at Shimon's as well.
Right.
Shimon's, which is, that's on private property though.
And that's the same with all the rest of them. So, what's the status of the one up on Addington Road? Because I know the municipality does the reporting for that.
Gerard.
You mean
I
Merard?
think it's just for family and relatives. I don't think it's.
I think so.
Because the municipality does do reporting for other,
Yes,
yeah,
we do for the one in Boswell. Boswell, we,
I think the valley puts up the money to take care of all the maintenance for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, from what I remember, my dad told me.
Yeah.
the problem is location.
Well, I mean, I strongly believe there's something that we need to do. Because so people are dying every day, and most people are getting cremated.
Yep.
So, if you don't belong to a church.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be in that cemetery. I know they won't refuse you.
No.
For a 48-ish columbarium, the space required would be a minimum 4.5 by 10 feet for your concrete pad. That's what other space you want to keep away from anything else. You need to be 10 to 20 feet off of the cemetery laneway. Closer the better for pouring concrete and for the crane for placement. So those are the kind of the guidelines of what you want to.
And do you remember the cost again? Or how,
Total upfront cost of purchase and install, this was from back in March, so prices might change a bit, would be in the area of 25,500. That will not include incidentals such as plaque crate and daily wax.
and then you would sell them to get that back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I know that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the one up at, when, the one on Shannon's? No, at John's.
So
Like, I
across
don't know if
basically,
anyone's buried in there, there's a few markers here and there, but where, like, where the plan is of that cemetery,
I don't know.
Would you-
maybe Jolene Peel might have it. Or printed off and stuff. I was looking at that one, and that's a mission, it's on it, but it's not, it's the one the municipality.
I wonder if anybody has the plot marker, so somebody's gonna.
They don't, I think we checked with the Baptist church at one time, they don't. They wouldn't have it, it would have been,
well, somebody has to look after that cemetery.
well, Geraldine Peel was the one that took over and originally brought that cemetery back, started looking after it, now she can't do that anymore, so we've been doing it, so it's 78 feet by 180 by 135 and 137 on the road.
Just, I guess if we could ask her if she has any old documents or anything.
I can get it.
Ronnie has plans for hours.
Yeah. So this is the one out on Shannon, but that's, I mean,
A lot of the markers are down there too.
it's very small, 98 feet across the back,
Mhm.
87 feet by 36. Very small.
There. Somebody should have the plans for that, like Ronnie looks after ours.
Yeah,
He has, like, he can tell you where all the graves are marked and all
like
that.
that,
Somebody should have a plan.
that cemetery belonged to a church that used to be down on Sacred Heart Road.
Oh, so it wasn't the one.
No,
Oh,
it's not that one,
okay.
it's another,
Okay, no, I thought it was part of that.
no, it was a different, and that was, I don't ever even, I mean, I've been around that area since
Mhm.
68 and I don't even remember,
Anybody being buried there?
well, any, or any ruins of an old church down there.
No, that's all.
Like, it was left so long for so many years. Yeah, yeah,
I
it's a shame, so, I mean, somebody did start
Yeah.
thinking.
remember when the big push was to tidy it up, but that's so long ago, that was, I just remember like when they first, because before it was kind of all in disrepair and then, oh god, it's so long ago, but then it was kind of cleaned up and that's what always been
Yeah,
maintained, but yeah, that's a long time ago.
I'll get a hold of Vivian and see if I can get Jolene's phone number.
Yeah, maybe she would have some old documents or records or something.
Cause I
Who
mean,
knows?
that's the only connection I would know
Yeah.
to it. Are there any other abandoned cemeteries that you guys
Cut
have?
that, do you find any grave markers, like any little stone in the ground at all? Two, that's it?
It's the same as our Shimons is most.
Yeah, there's a tall one.
Tall and one in the ground.
Yeah, just a little.
About 100 hours.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, some of ours, they have, art by the grade, that graded.
Well, the wooden crosses.
Awful list of names on them.
What's that?
List of names up front.
Yes, sir?
Of who's buried there, yeah, just the markers are gone.
So how many would there be in there?
But if you,
Yeah, so how do you place something in there?
Oh, yeah.
It's a little tricky.
It would be a nice spot,
Mhm.
and
easy
you know, if you could
access
get
there.
like,
I was gonna say, you figure out like something that's already maintained, you.
there's enough
maybe you
room.
could get a
Don't be
little
worried
bit
about
of.
where the sign
So-
garden is right now, it might be a.
Do they have to go on township property? On municipal property or?
I would think it would.
If the municipality's paying for it.
If it is valid, yeah.
Yeah.
So an option isn't to put it maybe in a local church graveyard?
Because, you
If
know,
they
they
allow
have control of it. Because they have their boards that control and their,
Yeah.
connection
Yeah, you're,
for their cemeteries
yeah.
that they report to and.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're changing the bylaws all the time. We just went through all that and, oh my gosh.
Maybe that'd be a question for people who sell the columbariums about setting up in a cemetery where you may not know where the graves are. Maybe they can. Maybe
That's
they
a
can
suggestion.
Or like a
Maybe there's
ground contract
a
radar.
possibility in the past.
Yeah. Cause you wouldn't wanna pour concrete over a grave.
spot that's clear.
Yeah, because it's just pasture there.
Mhm.
We talk about purchasing a little extra.
Yeah. That's a thought.
I mean, if you considered that out here
Yeah.
on 515, would you consider that here? Because as far as here,
Where's here though?
I'm sure.
parking's better there,
Well, it's
not on the main highway parking on Shimmons Road.
The one you're holding in your hand is
Yeah.
on Simmons Road? Okay,
So my concern just with on 515, if, you know, we had a fairly big memorial and there's like 30 cars, where do they park?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think at the same time, you gotta pick the best spot for the
Yes.
columbarium. Regardless, like, I know you gotta take parking into consideration, but parking is kind of temporary.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the shoulders, back, I would have to go there and kind of look at the shoulders, see if they're like, but.
They raise the shoulders on
Yeah,
that
I
one.
mean, they're probably wide enough to.
Yeah,
You can pull up, people pull up up there all the time to
yeah.
use their cell phones.
So
Yeah.
beside that or?
Yeah, John, right around that.
Okay. So what's our step, or what are we gonna do, or? Is everything, I'm trying to just find some things just keep getting put off to the next meeting.
Well, I think if we're interested in purchasing property, we would have to discuss that in closed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like direction to staff to kind of contact the guys with the columbariums to see if they've encountered anything like vacated graveyards where there's no markers, or if there's a process.
Here, can you pour a base?
Yeah.
yeah, but you don't wanna pour a base over top of
I mean, as long as they have a way of.
I don't think we want
Proving
to
that
start
there's-
disturbing.
No, but as long as if there's a way of proving that there's nothing there where you wish to locate it.
What I was
LiDAR's
thinking is if you bought additional,
Yeah.
like, high enough for that, just use that beside it.
Oh, no, that would be
Yeah.
ideal if you.
And then you'd have the other
Mhm.
part that's not going to be disturbed.
Just leave that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll just discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What's this, resolution? Okay, we have a resolution that the council of the corporation of the township of Rudell, Lindau, and Bradford hereby amend bylaw 2023-42 owners bylaw to change the effective date from January 2023 to January 1st, 2023. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Bang, seconded by Councillor Clark. I guess they requested, because it just said January 2022, they wanted it to say it first.
Yeah, need to do.
Okay, could I get a mover, or could I call for the vote on that? All those in favor?
Yes.
The motion is carried. We have a resolution to cancel the corporation does not to the Brookmel and Dog Raglan, accept the county presentation from Watson and Associates as information. Could I get a mover for that, please? I can move. Moved by Councillor Caldwell, seconded by Councillor Banks. And attached we have the county, the presentation that was made to county on development charges. I believe that this fall it will come up for a vote. And if it passes to county council, then the municipality will be required to collect the development charge for the county.
Yeah, be on the hook for it.
And there's some thought that they may just, apply it to the 17 corridor. And not to this part because we don't have the development that the 17 corridor does. And, so I really don't know where it's going to go. If,
And if I may, I think when I was there, and I'd have to go back and look at the notes, but I know there was talk about, because this has been in the works for a few years, there was a lot of discussion. And I think at one time it was even possibly considered, development charges, especially as it relates to subdivisions.
yeah,
Big road, not a single house kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the thought, because the single house on a side road isn't the one that's putting the pressures on to expand county roads, bridges, et cetera, right? That's kind of where I think we were at that time.
yeah, but I think it's not like that anymore.
No.
And, it's,
It's,
I really don't support development charges for our area at this point. We don't have the development to really put pressure on our services.
and the thing is, what you have to remember is, as towns and villages increase in size, so you increase the cost of your infrastructure to support your growth.
Yeah,
So you're either gonna pay it through a development charge where you're living, or every one of us as a taxpayer is gonna end up paying it on our tax bill anyway.
and this study that they did only relates to services related to highways. They haven't taken into consideration, long-term care, because these are services that the county provides. There's long-term care, public health services, childcare, provincial offenses, emergency preparedness. None of that was taken into consideration when they did this study, so. I mean, if they have enough of development to affect county roads, would that not affect our emergency services?
Well, it will affect all the services.
Yeah, under long-term care.
Well,
probably.
even, the doctors and stuff, what's the planning for that?
Yeah, so I really comfortable with it as,
Well, as it stands.
yeah, but I don't know what's gonna happen. If they use the way to vote.
Yeah.
And Chad, I got 2 votes.
Yeah. Well, no, you do what you can do, but I mean.
Yeah,
So you voice your concern.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all we can do.
but it may just affect the 17 corridor too, so I don't know.
Again, it's an unknown, right? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So this was the presentation. It was made at our council meeting at the end of August. So I don't know if it's gonna come back at the end of September or the end of October. Anyhow, so that was to be received as information. I'll call for the vote, all those in favor. The motion is carried. We have the year-to-date budget variance. Looking very good. Any questions on that? We have a resolution that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, accept the year-to-date budget variance in the monthly expenses summary as presented. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Banks. The column is invited up no, it's just, numbers on it. Oh, shoot. It's not why to have the whole numbers.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
On year-to-date budget variance, and although be it a very small line item, planning and development budgeted is 3,000, I see it's 8,294. No, that's a very small line, but is there, what would be the reason for?
Ours and region in shoreline rural allowances this year.
Okay,
You budget a certain amount.
Yeah.
But just things come up if they're unknown, what that's going to cost.
and there's all costs associated with all of that's covered. Costs are covered.
And generally that will end up being revenue neutral. In the revenues, there will be a line where you collect those costs.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna
You
say.
know,
It should be,
so-
it should be neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just seeing the expense.
Yeah, it all balances on the back end. Yeah.
I mean, anything that's strictly our cost, like zoning or something that we do on like a general. But if it's specific to a property, they pay the cost of
Yeah.
that, sure. Okay, any other questions?
No, it's good.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Motion, Shoreline Road lands. That the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby adopt bylaw 2023-46 being a bylaw to provide for the closing and stopping up of part of the original allowance for roll along shore global lake, laying in front of part lot 8, concession 9, in the geographic township of Brunel, under the transfer thereof to the owner of the abutting land, having been introduced and read first and second time. Can I get a mover to that, please? Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Collette. Any comments, discussion, questions?
I think we covered that last meeting. Maybe.
Okay. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Unopened road allowance, all of these. We have a resolution that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby adopt bylaw 2023-47 being a bylaw to establish a township policy on the use of unopened road allowances having been introduced and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. So I'm getting over to that, please. Moved by Councillor Capel, seconded by Councillor Keller. Okay, questions, comments?
Good.
Seeing that the solicitor took out anything that made it.
Yeah, we have that loggers can use
Yeah.
it, but they have to follow, which is standard
Yeah.
in the GPS now.
But
And,
we changed it.
yeah, okay.
There's only one question in there I have is, the proof of insurance at 2 million or 5 million. I have 2 million in the bylaw right now, but if you prefer the 5 million, I can move to that. That was a choice for solicitor, all up to you.
What was, the solicitor's
She
recommendation?
said normally it's 2 million, but since COVID, we see more and more people are going to the 5 million, so it was up to you guys.
Yeah, I think we should go over 5 million too.
I don't think 5 million is unreasonable. I mean, anyone that has insurance, if that's in business, probably has a minimum of 5 million.
And that's what it is, yes.
Yeah, they're probably carrying that or more.
Yeah. So the thought, the consensus of council is to go to 5
Yeah,
million.
I would think it was 5.
Okay.
That change in the environment.
I don't think that puts any extra stress on anyone. I don't do so.
And I mean, we have to ensure that we protect the
Oh, for sure.
ratepayers also.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't want something to happen and
No,
ratepayers pay the bill for some,
no, right now, 2 million is like,
yeah. Alright. Any other comments?
oh, looks good. No, it's
It
good.
sure changed from our original, yeah, but I think it's a really good,
Well, it looks good. It reads good.
yeah, so. Okay, so I'll call for the vote on it then. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Okay. I have a resolution that says we, the council of the corporation, the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan, go into closed session pursuant to the municipal act of 2001, section 239(2) for the purposes of subsection B, 2 items regarding personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and subsection E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Cawthell, seconded by Councillor Banks. All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, we are back in open session and we have a motion that council returns to open session at 9:14 p.m. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Cawthell, seconded by Councillor Clyde. All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Okay, while we were in closed session, council discussed 2 items regarding identifiable individuals and 1 item regarding litigation or potential litigation. We.
I don't think so.
We have a resolution being resolved that expediting applications for strategically located public communications towers to enable the provision of enhanced cellular internet and emergency communication services to Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan residents is a priority for the council of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan. And that the mayor be authorized to sign a letter on behalf of the township discontinuing its membership with CRIMS, and that the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan reaffirm itself as land use authority for telecommunications towers, land use reviews in Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan township for all telecommunications tower applications received starting September 13, 2023. And the township staff cooperate with proponents of telecommunication towers to explore possibilities for their timely installation, including on lands that already permit communications facilities on underutilized municipally owned lands where practical. Furthermore, all proponents be required to follow ISED CPC-2-0-03 radio communication and broadcasting antenna systems protocols and all subsequent revisions. Can I get a number for that, please? Moved by Councillor Cawthell, second by Councillor Clyde. Any discussion? I'll call for vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
The motion is carried. We have another resolution from close the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lyndoch and Raglan hereby direct staff to contact the municipal solicitor as directed in closed session. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, motion is carried. We have a resolution for confirmatory bylaw that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dr. Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2023-48 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings the September 13th, 2023 regular meeting of council, having been introduced and read first, second, and third time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks. Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, the motion is carried. And I need a mover for this meeting adjourns at 9:18 p.m. For water.